everyone and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, then hi, my name is Lauren. And on my channel, we mostly talk about anything luxury, but we also discuss lifestyle and beauty. So if you're interested in any of these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel and we'll get started with the video. So in today's video, I'm presenting you my entire bag collection for 2022. I've already done a similar video last year. By the way, I'll go ahead and leave it in the little information link over here for you to see it in case you're interested. I actually added a couple of handbags, so I thought that I would show you the current state of my bag collection. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please keep on watching. So let's go ahead and organize this video by brand, and of course the first brand that comes to mind to me is Chanel. And with Chanel, let's start chronologically. This is my latest baby that I have acquired from them. It is a Chanel 19 in size medium in this beautiful beige from the 22C collection. So as this is my most recent baby, of course I've been giving it a lot of love and I've been taking it out a lot. I'm also really proud of myself because this is actually my first lambskin bag. All of my other Chanel handbags are caviar or like denim, but in terms of leather, they are caviar, and this is my first one that's lambskin, and I feel like I'm doing pretty well with it. I'm still taking it out. I'm not afraid of wearing it. It is also a fairly light-ish color. Of course, it's not white, and of course, it's not like super light beige, but it is still pretty light, especially for me. I have a ton of like black handbags or dark reds, like I have a burgundy Chanel or something like that in caviar, as to not damage it, but this is obviously very different. But I've still been giving it a lot of love, and I'm really proud of myself for making this step and kind of advancing into the lambskin world and also the light colored world of Chanel, and I absolutely love it. So next up in the chronological order, we have a Chanel medium flap in burgundy from the 20B collection, and it's with caviar leather and then silver hardware. This is pretty much my go-to handbag for visiting nice stores, to go to the mall. I absolutely love this handbag. What I love about it is first the size. For me, it just fits better because I am super duper tall. If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I am 5'11" or 180 centimeters, which is like a giraffe basically. So this size just tends to work better for me. Additionally, I really love the color. I feel like it is a color as opposed to like black, but it is something that is very hard to damage. There is basically no risk of color transfer with this bag because the red is so dark. It's basically burgundy. So this is something that you can wear, for example, in the winter with like darker fabrics, dark denims. This is really wonderful for that. And for this reason, it does feel kind of carefree, even though it is Chanel. And this is something that I really appreciate about this handbag. So next up in my handbag collection, we have another Chanel medium flap, but this time it is in Tiffany blue and it's from the 20C collection. It also has caviar leather, but this time it is champagne gold hardware. And this is actually my unicorn baby. This is probably my most treasured piece out of my entire bag collection. As I don't have Hermes handbags yet, this really feels like, my unicorn, my most protected piece. And while I absolutely love it, I love the color. I think that the color changes depending on lighting, which is so beautiful. It can be like a turquoise, like baby blue sometimes, so it's absolutely wonderful. I am a little bit concerned about taking it out at times, first because it is my most coveted piece. For this reason, I know this would be very difficult to replace this handbag, so if anything happened to it, I would be very scared. But then also because of color transfer, as this is kind of a lighter handbag, I am a little bit concerned about taking it out. Even in the summer, I actually tend to wear dark fabrics and like dark denim. And so for this reason, this is something that, you know, I only wear if I'm wearing something like a white summer dress or something that has absolutely zero risks. And for this reason, I don't take this bag out very often, unfortunately. The summer is fairly short here in the DC area, like it's not like 8 months out of the year. So yeah, for this reason, I don't take this handbag out very much. I've actually featured it on my most neglected handbags video, so if you want to go ahead and see that video, I will leave it in the little information link over here for you to see it and for you to also hear about my other neglected handbags. So in short, I do love it. I absolutely love it. But I don't wear it as much as I should because I am concerned of color transfer and also because it would be very hard to replace. So still following the chronological order in my collection of Chanel handbags, we have the Chanel Mini Rectangular in denim in this beautiful limited edition CC logo. So this is actually a handbag that, believe it or not, I used to not wear very much, simply because it is denim, and so in my mind it is more for like during the day. This is a bag that I would feel a bit reluctant about bringing, you know, on like night with the girls or on like date nights or something like that. And so for that reason, it is more for during the day, but I never really had the like day occasions to wear it, or I would still feel reluctant. I don't know why actually. And I recently went on a girls' weekend with one of my best friends, and so I needed, you know, a small handbag for during the day, which wouldn't bother me, so something like a crossbody bag was an option that I was looking for. And so I just reached out for this one without thinking about it very much, and I have been loving it. It has made my life so much easier on this trip. I love the options of being hands-free. This is something that I don't have with many of my handbags, especially many of my Chanel bags. So for me, the flaps, like the medium flaps that you've seen already, they don't work as a crossbody option because I'm super tall, so they basically fall like right below my boob and it looks like absolutely ugly. So this is really nice. I love the crossbody option. Additionally, it doesn't fit very much, that is true, but it still fits a little bit more than like a walk, for example, which that's not possible for me. This actually will still fit like a lipstick or a hand sanitizer or like something more than just the bare minimal, which I really like. So next up we have a Chanel Duvil in size medium in this beautiful charcoal gray color. This is actually a bag that I, to be honest, regret buying. I know that it's taking a lot right now for me to admit this on camera, especially because it's a Chanel handbag, it's my favorite brand, and I realize that for some people this is their absolute dream to own one, and here I am saying that I regret getting this. But it is true, I've actually incorporated this bag in my luxury regrets video. So if you're interested in seeing the other items that I regret purchasing, I will leave the video in the little information link over here for you to see it. What ended up happening with this bag is that it was so bulky and so heavy. I mean, it's currently giving me like an arm workout, that I ended up not wearing it as much as I initially thought. Also, because it's so big, for my size it's okay because I'm tall, so it looks right. But because it's so big, I just don't have that many occasions to bring such a big handbag. You know, I don't travel as much as I used to, especially post-pandemic. I also don't use this as a mommy bag since I'm not a mom yet. For work, it's very showy. It's just too showy for me since I work in academia. So yeah, I also don't go to the beach very much. So for all of these reasons, this is not a bag that I tend to reach out very much for. And you will see in a couple of minutes that I have recently acquired a Dior book tote, which is starting to replace this bag, unfortunately. So I am thinking of letting it go, but at the same time, you know, I would feel like I would regret it. So I'm still really debating. I love it. I love the look of it. I love that it's casual and everything, but just the size for me is a little too much. So I think that what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna just wait, because maybe in a couple of months or in like a few years, you know, my life will change and I will travel more and stuff, and I will get to use this bag and I will be happy that I have kept it. So I think I'm going to play it safe and keep it for now. But I wouldn't exactly advise you to get this handbag. I've also actually done a video comparing the Dior book tote and then this bag. So if you're debating between the two and if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on the subject, I will leave the video in the little information link over here for you to see it. But in short, I would highly favor the Dior book tote. So next we have the Chanel Small Classic Flap in black with caviar leather and then gold hardware. This is my go-to handbag for evenings out. I love taking it out for night outs. I think that I love the size. It's not too big because for a night out, honestly, you don't need that much. You don't need to bring like half of your house. So you just need like the essentials plus like a lipstick, powder, all that type of stuff, which can fit here. So I love the size. It's not too big and not too small. And then I think this type of bag goes with absolutely everything. First, it's black, so just goes with any outfit for any occasion. It's just so easy to pair any look with this handbag. And then what I also like about it is the gold hardware. I think that this is the kind of color combination, black plus gold hardware, that elevates any look. I feel like it looks so classy. It makes any evening dress looks like a 10 out of 10 directly. So I feel very lucky that I was able to actually score this handbag for not that much money. This is a handbag that I bought very early on in my collection, and I only paid $3,000 for it, which is really not too much, especially given current prices. This is a bag that I've actually included in my cheapest handbags video. So if you want to learn a little bit more about my cheapest handbags in my entire collection, then I will go ahead and leave the video in the little information link over here for you to check it out. The last handbag in this Chanel part of the video, which also means that it is my oldest Chanel bag, is a Chanel Walk in black with caviar leather and then gold hardware. This is my first ever Chanel bag, and so for this reason it is very hard to let go of it. It is something that I think that I just bought for the price, very stupidly, because at the time I didn't have very much money. I mean, I still don't now, but I have a little bit more. So at the time I didn't have very much money, and so for that reason, you know, I absolutely wanted to have a Chanel bag, and I think that I just got basically the cheapest one just to have one. And I didn't really put any thought into purchasing it or into, you know, watching reviews or anything like that. So I ended up with this bag, and what I really don't like about it is the chain length is ridiculously long, even for me. and I'm super duper tall, so I mean, I don't understand what like petite girls do with this handbag because it's like ridiculously long. And then additionally, the problem is that it fits nothing. It doesn't fit anything. I mean, anytime you want to add anything, it basically doesn't work, or you end up with a bag that looks like this. And everybody knows that you have kind of like, you know, made it larger to fit everything, so it just looks a little weird. So for that reason, I'm not a fan. I wore it quite a bit when I first got it because it was my only Chanel handbag, duh. But then as, you know, time went by, I was able to get a few other handbags from the brand, and then I simply stopped wearing this. So this is a handbag that I've actually had to go get in my closet, in the depth of my closet somewhere, that never sees broad daylight, aside from like, you know, the window over here when I film my videos. But other than that, really, I don't take it out very much. But at the same time, like, selling it is kind of tough because it's my first one. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this bag. So next up in my entire bag collection, we are moving away from Chanel and getting into the world of Dior. And here it will be short and sweet because I only have one Dior handbag, and it's actually one that I have acquired this year, so fairly-ish recently. By the way, if you want to go ahead and see the unboxing as well as my first impressions, I will go ahead and leave the video in the little information link over here for you to see it. But as you are able to tell, it is a Dior book tote, and it's in size old, small, or new medium. Pretty confusing, I know. And mine is in gray, and it's in toile de jouy embroidery. And I am so glad that I got this handbag. So I basically got it to replace the Chanel Duvil, which I already talked to you about. For me, it just didn't make sense to have this bag that, you know, I wasn't using. And the reason why I wasn't using it is not because I don't like the type of handbag, but simply because it was so bulky and so heavy that I never had the occasions to take it out. And so here, as you can see, it doesn't take up half of the screen, and so it is still not that bulky. And here I have the organizer inside as well. So it is pretty fit for everyday errands, for, you know, doing the groceries, for, I don't know, running to the post office, all that type of stuff. What I like about it is that you're still able to have some things with you. So you can bring, you know, water bottle, a sweater, something like that. So I tend to kind of put all of my errands at the same time, and then I go like back to back to back to like a couple of stores. So that way I'm basically set for the day with a handbag like this. I find it very convenient. What I also like about it is that it is white, or it's like partly white, and so it's like me dipping a toe in the pool of white handbags. I am pretty scared of getting a white bag. So for the longest time, the Chanel medium flap was on my wish list in white, but I could never bring myself to pay like $8,800 for a white handbag. I just felt like, you know, I would ruin it instantly, that there would be color transfer right away. And so this is for me an opportunity to dip my toe in. So it is very different because obviously it's not a leather handbag and it's not fully white, but at least I'm like slowly getting there, and so far so good. There hasn't been any, you know, color transfer or anything. I've been pretty careful of not wearing it with dark fabrics, but I have done it a couple of times, and so far so good. Nothing has happened. I think that if you do it within moderation, then it's still fine, but obviously if you do it like every day, then that's going to be a problem. But I absolutely love this bag, and I couldn't recommend it to you more. So here we are switching brands again, and this time it is YSL. or Yves Saint Laurent. And my first Yves Saint Laurent handbag, or actually my most recent one rather, is the Yves Saint Laurent East-West tote in black. This is my everyday handbag. This is the handbag that I use both for work and for running errands. I find it very, very practical, especially for work, because it is so discreet. You basically just have the tiny handwriting over here, but if you carry it on your shoulder, this is something that comes underneath your arm. So basically nobody can see it. You also have the option of like turning it around, worst case scenario. So it is super duper discreet, but it is very practical. It is very roomy. This is the type of bag that will fit basically any laptop. So I own a 12-inch MacBook, but I'm pretty sure that even a bigger laptop could fit in this. It's also really nice in the sense that it is very sturdy and it has a very good quality. So the handles are very resistant, which is nice because since I work in academia, I tend to carry a lot of stuff, a lot of books, a lot of like copies for my students, like anything like that. So this bag has gone through hell basically, and it's still here, which I really appreciate. The price is also really cheap, which is super nice for a designer handbag. I think that we're just north of $1,000 right now. So it's still not too bad, especially given the quality. I think that YSL has amazing quality for still not that much money. So still chronologically in this YSL section of the video, the next bag is the Yves Saint Laurent Sac de Jour in size nano in this beautiful blush pink color. So this has been for the longest time my only summer handbag, and for this reason it has been used and abused. I have loved this bag so much. The main thing for me is that it comes with a crossbody strap over here, as you can see, which is adjustable, so no panic whether you're tall or short, this will work, which is what I really appreciate about it, because let me tell you that at my height it is very difficult to find bags that are crossbody bags. Even some bags that are like mainly intended to be worn as crossbodies just don't work for me. So I really appreciate that about this bag. So it's very practical, you know, in the summer, in case you're like touring a city or something like that, you can wear this bag and not have to worry about, you know, your hands. You still have your hands free to take pictures or something like that. Additionally, it does fit quite a bit, which I was really surprised. So here, if you look at the width of the bag, it just doesn't seem like it's that wide, but it will still fit, you know, like a big bottle of sunscreen, for example. So not just the mini one, but the like bigger format, or even like a 500 milliliter water bottle. So it's really not bad in case you're touring a city. This is what I would really recommend. The price is, I think, still very reasonable for this type of bag. And as I've mentioned, I have used and abused it. And I mean, honestly, there are like no major signs of wear and tear. Sure, you can see that it has been used. Especially, I would say here, this is the main thing with this little kind of movement of the cadenas here. This type of thing can happen, but I mean, this is something that personally I choose to put inside of the bag when I'm carrying it, that way no problem. So yeah, I really like this. I think that it's still at a good value. I have worn it a little bit less since I've acquired the Chanel medium flap in Tiffany blue. That is my other summer bag that of course I love more because it's a Chanel bag, because it's a medium flap. But I still tend to bring this one out, especially when I know that things are going to be casual and I'm going to need my hands. This is very recommended. So next up we have the YSL kid bag in size medium in black. This is actually the handbag that the Chanel small classic flap is replacing in terms of evening bags. This used to be my first evening handbag, and oh boy, let me tell you how proud I was to own this bag. I was just so happy, like going to parties and walking around on date nights with this bag. I just felt like, I don't know, the princess of the world or something. But to be very honest with you, since I have gotten the Chanel Small Classic Flap, I just haven't worn this as much. I have been a bit reluctant to take it out. I think that I have taken it out, but it has switched usages in the sense that this is something that I now tend to take out more during the day. What I love about it is that it is very carefree. So the fabric over here is super carefree, which means that I have spilled coffee, sunscreen, definitely sunscreen. There has been like a massive thing over here of sunscreen. Oops. And it has come off completely, as you can see. So this is very easy to kind of clean off. For that reason, I tend to use it more during the day. It is a crossbody. It's a little bit complicated for me for it to be a crossbody. I think it arrives like right around like my waist, which is not the best. It's not as bad as the Chanel ones, as the medium flaps or the small flap even, but it's still not the perfect crossbody bag. But I do tend to use it more as like a crossbody bag for during the day. It is very convenient. The size doesn't look like it fits a lot, especially here if you see how wide it is or how not wide it is. But it actually still fits quite a bit, very surprisingly. I'm not sure why. So it's very practical for that reason. And instead of selling the bag, I think that, you know, I have decided to switch usages and to use it more for during the day instead. So we're switching up brands again and we're moving into Burberry. And my most recent purchase in terms of handbags and Burberry is this beautiful Burberry backpack in nylon in black. So this is actually a backpack that I use either for traveling or simply for hiking. What I really love about it is that the handles are super comfortable. The straps are really nice, even on bare skin. So even if you're hiking in like a sports bra or, you know, a tank top, they don't hurt your shoulders at all, which is super nice. And then also at the back over here, you'll see the material is special and it's very specific to absorb sweat, which is needed for me. I sweat a lot. So for that reason, it feels really nice to have that, you know, absorb the sweat that you have on your skin. It is very roomy as well, so you can fit like 2 water bottles, sandwiches, bug spray, sunscreen, you know, all of your hiking essentials will basically fit in here, which is super nice. This could also be used, by the way, as a mommy bag in case, you know, you want to put stuff away and you don't necessarily want everybody to see your diapers or something. This is nice because you can store things away in the main pocket, but you also have a lot of different pockets over here where you don't have to necessarily reach in the main pocket. You just open the pocket really quickly. And then that's it. So for example, that's where I put, you know, my phone over here, my keys, my wallet, everything is here. Well, I don't have a wallet, I have a card holder, but yeah, very practical. I think that it is great. The price also was pretty good. I think that I got it yeah, at the Woodbury outlets in New York, and so I only paid like $1,200 for this bag, which I feel like is still reasonable. Especially given the time that it will last. So because it's a nylon backpack, I don't have the concern of using it too much. So I have used it quite a lot already, and basically, I mean, it doesn't show, at least to my knowledge, any signs of wear and tear, which is pretty nice. So next up, and still within Burberry, we have a bag that is currently at the Bag Spa. This is why I don't have it with me, but I will include a picture either here or here. And it is the Burberry medium-sized banner bag in black. So this is a bag that I got very early on in my luxury journey, in my designer bag journey. This is probably the bag that, or one of the bags that made me become a bag lady. And you know, I feel like I have given it a lot of love, especially back when I first got it. And that's why it's currently at the Bag Spa, because it really needed a little polishing. because it is a bag that has soft and supple leather. It is pretty easy to damage it, and it's pretty easy to, you know, if you have any like long nails or something like that, to kind of like scratches. So scratches unfortunately occur pretty easily on this bag. That's why it's being repaired right now. I intentionally got it as a work bag, but then the thing is I couldn't really fit everything that I wanted. It can be used as a work bag depending on the type of work that you do, but for me this was a little bit too small and also a little bit too slouchy for that. So this is a bag that doesn't have much structure, and I have found out over the course of my luxury journey that I definitely prefer structured handbags. So this is something that I definitely look for now in terms of bags. You know, when I think about purchasing bags, when I think about the process of purchasing a bag and my thought process, what I look for is definitely something structured, because otherwise I feel like it just kind of droops down and, you know, looks a lot older than it actually is. And so this is the reason why I also haven't used this bag very much, and the reason that it is at the bag spa, it is actually to sell it, not so much to, you know, use it anymore, but it is to sell it. I have loved having this bag as one of my first designer bags, but unfortunately currently it doesn't really fit any of the needs that I have for a handbag. It is too small to bring as a work bag or as an everyday bag, but it is too big, and maybe the brand is a little bit too casual as well to bring as an evening bag. So for that reason, you know, I just feel like it is unfortunately spending a lot of time in my closet, and this is the reason why I have decided to sell it. But first, it's a first stop at the bag spa for the bag, and hopefully, you know, when it comes out, it will look brand new and I will be able to sell it for a good price. So next up we have a new brand, and this time it's Prada, and this is the Prada Vitello Dino tote bag in blue. This is one of the bags that I've had for the longest time. It is also my first very large bag, and what's nice about this bag is that it is not too heavy despite the size, aka not like the Chanel Duvil. And I have been loving it, especially when I first got it. So I got it at the outlets. And I don't know about you, but when you get a bag for a deal, it just feels amazing wearing it. So I've been, you know, super impressed with the price, and I was like so happy to have gotten it for such a price. So it just made my entire experience a lot better. And this is still a handbag that I use. Unfortunately, I don't use it as much, because what ended up happening was that I got the Chanel Duvil to replace this bag. And then I got the Dior book tote to replace the Chanel Duvil. So this is currently my third option. It is still a bag that I love, and it is also a bag that sometimes my mom will use. So this is one of the reasons why, you know, I don't want to sell the bag, of course, because I know she likes it and from time to time she uses it. But it is no longer really my favorite, and I think it's just a problem of brand. Because otherwise I do feel like the bag is very practical. This is a bag that you can put an organizer inside as well if you're worried about not finding your stuff, which definitely did happen. So I never got an organizer for this bag, but I probably should have. It would have probably been a good idea to do that. It is a bag that I think, you know, would look good for nights out, especially in the summer, for during the day, also especially in the summer. But because of the shade of blue, this is also something that would look good in the winter, I feel like. Especially, you know, on a day when it's sunny out, even if it's cold, this is something that can work as well. So I have loved this bag a lot, but it's no longer my top 1 or 2 choices in terms of tote bags. And this is one of the reasons why it is now more so my mom's bag than mine. But it's still a very nice recommendation if you do need a tote bag and you don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. This is still fairly reasonably priced. lastly, my last bag, which is of course the biggest one so far, is the Louis Vuitton Keepall in size 55 in monogram Macassar. I'm not sure if this is exactly a handbag, but it's definitely a bag, and so this is my bag collection. So this is obviously something that I use when traveling, and I'm very happy that I got it. I only got it like last year, which isn't that long ago, but I have used it quite a bit, especially for weekend trips. I do feel like it is very practical. You know, especially when you're driving to a weekend destination, it's really nice because then the size doesn't matter, or like however much you want to bring doesn't really matter. And so for that reason, it's really nice to have this bag because obviously in the trunk of your car, it's also not getting damaged. So it is something that I would be a little bit mindful of if I was taking this on the airplane. I think that I would be a bit concerned about, you know, the bag being damaged, about scratches occurring, because obviously it is very large, and sometimes in the overhead bins there isn't that much space, and so people just tend to like shove everything together and like push. And so for that reason, this is something that I'm not really planning on bringing in the airplane right now, but instead I use it for weekend trips that I take with my car. I have taken this to Canada a few times. I have taken this to visit my friend in Virginia Beach a few times as well. And it's really nice because it's super roomy, so you can basically fit everything that you want to bring on a weekend. A couple of clothes, change of handbag, a couple of shoes, and then some toiletries as well. So this really fits everything, and I don't really have to take like separate bags for everything. I can just fit everything in one bag. Obviously it does come with the strap, which is super nice because when it gets very heavy, it also is easier to carry on the shoulder, or at least that's what I find. So I'm very happy that I got it. It's been one of my best purchases of last year. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you appreciated going through my handbag collection with me. I definitely had a lot of fun. So if you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.